Hello everyone, welcome to class 67 of Kerala PSC HSA English. I am Sri Lakshmi. Today's topic is Englishes from the module Linguistics, Phonetics and History of Language. English has acquired the international status in the world, and its spread brought about new Englishes that are widely used to serve non-native speakers. The spread of English throughout the world can be categorized into three. First one, countries where English was originally codified as a linguistic base and is primarily used as a mother tongue or native language in every sphere of life. Those countries include United Kingdom, United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and some of the Caribbean territories. Second one, countries where English is used as a second language, which means people use English alongside with their mother tongue as a second language to officially communicate in several domains or carry out various institutionalized functions. Such countries are India, Malaysia, Singapore, Nigeria, etc. These countries were once colonized by either the British Empire or the United States. Versions of English spoken in these countries are often referred to as New Englishes, nativized Englishes, institutionalized Englishes, or indigenous Englishes. Third category is countries where English is used as a foreign or additional language and do not have the history of colonization by any English native speaking countries. These countries include Thailand, China, Japan, Russian Federation, Denmark, or France, where English has no official role to function within domestic institutions. They came under the influence of English through academia, business and commerce, higher education, media, and science and technology. The spread of English has led to the pluralization or diversification of the language. It results in the birth of many new varieties of English or world Englishes. English has acquired new names when it comes into contact with indigenous languages and cultures around the world. Thus, English does not represent a single shade of color, rather, it represents multiplicities or diversities known as Englishes. So, coming to our syllabus, there are four types of English mentioned, that is, American, Australian, Indian, and African English. So, first of all, American English. American English has developed into a prominent national standard with distinctive features of its own. However, deviations from British English are few, and close contacts between the two reduce the significance of the variations which rapidly spread in both standards. Many lexical innovations of American English are now in general use in both British and American English. Many words in American English, such as cannibal, potato, chocolate, etc., were borrowed from native American languages. The same words are sometimes used in different senses in the two varieties, affecting the intelligibility. For example, American public schools correspond to English primary and secondary schools, while English public schools would in America be described as private. The most conspicuous difference is in the pronunciation. Pitch and intonation pattern vary. American intonation does not rise or fall so suddenly as in British English, and the voice pitch in general is higher in American English. American pronunciation is generally closer to spelling. For example, in British English, it is secretary, but in American English, it is secretary. Explanatory in British English is explanatory in American English. So that's a difference. There are many differences in the word formation, in syntax, in dialects, etc. When coming to Australian English, the most marked feature is its accent. Australian accent is homogeneous in nature. We will not be able to see the any regional differences just like in British English or American English. But there are varieties in Australian English and they are categorized as broad Australian, general Australian, and cultivated Australian. Of these, cultivated Australian is most closely related to British received pronunciation, and broad Australian most vigorously exhibits distinctive regional features. There are no syntactic features that distinguish standard Australian English from standard British English. However, Australian English has added some 10,000 items to the language and they are not internationally active, only a few. Next is Indian English. English has a major role in Indian culture and socio-linguistic context. And there are four major functions of English, and they are instrumental, regulative, interpersonal, and innovative or creative. Instrumental refers to the use of English as a medium of instruction at various stages of education. The regulative function refers to its use as a language of the legal and administrative systems, and interpersonal is, of course, the communication between different people, even in international level. The use of English for creative writing also has been considerable and remarkably productive. Indian English is not indicative of any linguistic homogeneity in this non-native variety. There are several varieties with features chiefly named by the mother tongue of the speakers. So thus we have Tamil English, Bengali English, Malayalam English, etc. Now, there is a term called General Indian English. It is a variety of English spoken by educated Indians all over the country, which is free from gross regional peculiarities. And now, coming to African English, there are a wide variety of African English. White South African English, black South African English, even Indian South African English, which is a subvariety that developed among the descendants of Indian immigrants to South Africa. And there is African American English. South African English has become a particular regional version of English, and they themselves are often unaware of how different South African English is from other Englishes in both vocabulary and pronunciations. As a result of the apartheid, there is no single reasonably uniform South African English accent. With some exceptions, communities lived and were educated separately according to the ethnic background. The South African English of English speakers is often confused with Australian or New Zealand English because they have some common characteristics. So all these varieties of English shows how much the language English has been accepted in our world. That's why there are a term called World Englishes itself that shows its recognition as a global language. So that's all. Here ends our module Linguistics, Phonetics and History of Language. Now we are moving on to the last topics of modern English usage also, which are the idioms. So I have given some idioms, some commonly familiar idioms at the end of this class. Please check that out, and you can also go through and practice on your own. And the last topic in modern English language is passage comprehension. For that, there is no, I think, no class is needed for that, because all you have to do is you have to read the passage very, very carefully and answer the questions according to it. So, that's all for today. And from our next class, we are starting our new module, which is the last module of the syllabus. See you then. Bye.